The 1970s housewife was a master of stretching dollars, not by choice, but by necessity. Inflation was brutal throughout the decade. Gas crises made driving expensive. Recession hit in the mid-1970s. Making ends meet required skills passed down from mothers who lived through the Depression. These were not lifestyle choices or trendy frugality. These were survival techniques for families watching their grocery bills double while wages stayed flat. The 1970s housewife developed strategies that saved real money every single month. The tricks worked because they had to. Families could not afford waste. Every dollar mattered. The techniques were practical, proven, and absolutely essential. Let us walk through the budget tricks every 1970s housewife knew. Let us step into that world. Extreme couponing before it had a name. Every 1970s housewife clipped coupons. Not casually, obsessively. Wednesday's newspaper arrived thick with grocery store inserts. You would sit at the kitchen table with scissors, cutting every coupon for products you used. The coupon organizer was essential. A small accordion file or an envelope system kept coupons organized by category, cleaning products, personal care, and food items. You would carry the organizer to every store and check it constantly. Double coupon days were strategic shopping events. Some stores would double manufacturer coupons up to 50 cents. A 25-cent coupon became 50 cents off. Smart shoppers planned major purchases around double coupon events. Stacking coupons with sales created incredible deals. A manufacturer coupon plus a store coupon plus the sale price could make items nearly free. The best housewives would walk out of stores having saved more than they spent. Route planning for maximum savings. Gas was expensive and sometimes hard to find. You could not drive to multiple stores without planning. The smart housewife would map her shopping route to hit multiple stores efficiently. On Monday, she went to grocery store A for their sale on meat. On Tuesday, she went to grocery store B for produce specials. On Wednesday, she visited the discount store for household items. On Thursday, she stopped at the bakery outlet for day-old bread. The route minimized driving while maximizing savings. The shopping lists were store-specific. Each store's list included only items on sale there. No impulse buying, no convenience purchases. Every item was planned and purposeful. Bulk buying and freezer management. When something went on sale, really on sale, you bought as much as you could afford and store. Meat on sale meant buying multiple packages and freezing them immediately. The chest freezer in the basement or garage was essential equipment. You'd stock it when prices were low and eat from it when prices were high. The freezer was your hedge against inflation. Freezer organization prevented waste. Items were labeled with contents and date. The oldest items stayed visible and were used first. A freezer inventory list helped track what you had. Generic and store brands. Generic products exploded in the 1970s. Plain white packages with black text, corn instead of Green Giant, and cola instead of Coca-Cola. The quality was usually comparable, and the savings were substantial. Store brands like A&P's Ann Page and Kroger's own labels offered a middle ground between generic and name brand. They were better quality than generic and a lower price than national brands. You would try generics for non-critical items first: laundry detergent, aluminum foil, basic food items. If they worked fine, you would switch permanently. If not, you would go back to name brands for those specific items. Meal planning around sales. Meals were planned around what was on sale that week, not around what you felt like eating. If chicken was on sale, you would plan multiple chicken meals. If ground beef was cheap, That became the week's protein source. The meal plan was written and posted. On Sunday, roast chicken. On Monday, chicken soup made from the bones. On Tuesday, chicken salad from leftovers. On Wednesday, ground beef casserole. One ingredient, multiple meals. Seasonal eating saved money naturally. Tomatoes in summer, apples in fall, root vegetables in winter. Buying produce in season meant better prices and better quality. Leftover transformation. Nothing was thrown away. Leftover roast became soup. Leftover vegetables became casserole ingredients. Stale bread became croutons or breadcrumbs. Every scrap had a second purpose. The leftover containers were used systematically. Oldest first. Nothing languished in the back of the refrigerator until it spoiled. Leftovers were incorporated into new meals, not reheated as is. Planned overs were intentional. You would cook extra rice on Sunday, knowing it would become fried rice on Wednesday. You would make extra mashed potatoes, knowing they would become potato pancakes the next day. Make your own. Everything cleaning supplies were made at home. Vinegar and water were used for windows. Baking soda was used for scrubbing. Ammonia was used for floors. Homemade cleaners were cheaper, and they worked as well as store-bought. Bread baking saved significant money. A loaf of homemade bread cost pennies to make versus dollars to buy. Many housewives baked weekly, baking multiple loaves at once to maximize oven efficiency. Baby food was homemade. A food mill could turn any cooked vegetable into baby food. It was much cheaper than jarred baby food, and it was fresher too. Clothing strategies. Clothes were mended, altered, and remade before being replaced. Sewing machines were essential tools. Patches covered holes. Hems were let down as children grew. Sleeves were shortened when they wore out. Hand-me-downs were standard. Older children's outgrown clothes went to younger children. Neighbors traded clothing as children outgrew items. Nothing usable was discarded. Back-to-school shopping happened at discount stores and clearance racks. You would buy clothes slightly large so children could grow into them. Quality was less important than price for rapidly growing children. Garden everything. Vegetable gardens were practical, not decorative. Tomatoes, lettuce, green beans, and carrots were vegetables that were expensive in stores. A small garden could provide fresh vegetables all summer and canning supplies for winter. Herbs were grown on windowsills. Parsley, chives, and basil were expensive fresh herbs that could be grown for pennies. Even apartment dwellers could grow herbs in small pots. Fruit trees and berry bushes were long-term investments. Plant them once and harvest for years. Apple trees, grapevines, and strawberry patches provided free fruit annually. Entertainment on the cheap. Family entertainment rarely cost money. Board games, card games, library books, television, and backyard activities filled evenings. Paying for entertainment was for special occasions only. Free activities were actively sought. Community events, library programs, school activities, and church functions were part of the routine. The entertainment calendar was built around free options. Vacation usually meant camping or visiting relatives. Hotels and restaurants were expensive, so camping offered affordable outdoor recreation, and relatives provided free accommodation and meals. Trading and bartering. Informal trading networks developed among neighbors. One housewife would trade homemade bread for another's garden vegetables. Skills were traded, babysitting for sewing, hair cutting for house cleaning. Community sales and swaps were regular events. Church rummage sales, neighborhood garage sales, and community exchanges kept people connected. One family's unwanted items became another's treasures. Every light switch mattered. Lights were turned off religiously. The admonition to turn off the lights when you leave the room was a constant refrain. Electricity costs were watched carefully. Water conservation was practiced daily. People took shorter showers, ran only full loads in washers and dishwashers, and collected rainwater for gardens. Every gallon saved money. Heating and cooling were minimized. People wore extra sweaters in winter, used fans instead of air conditioning in summer, and opened windows for natural cooling whenever possible. Shopping psychology. Never shop when hungry. Never shop without a list. Never shop with children, if avoidable. These rules prevented impulse purchases that blew budgets. Shopping was done alone when possible. Children would beg for extras. Spouses might add unnecessary items. Solo shopping meant sticking to the plan. The perimeter shopping strategy meant buying primarily from the store's edges, produce, meat, and dairy. The center aisles contained processed foods with higher markups. Storage and preservation. Root cellars or basement storage kept potatoes, onions, and other vegetables fresh longer. Proper storage prevented spoilage and waste. Canning and freezing preserved seasonal abundance. When tomatoes were cheap and plentiful, you would can dozens of jars for winter use. When meat was on sale, you would package and freeze portions for later. These techniques worked because they were systematic and comprehensive. Every aspect of household management focused on saving money. The accumulated savings from dozens of small economies added up to significant monthly savings. The 1970s housewife wasn't being cheap. She was being smart. Inflation was eating away at family income. These strategies helped families maintain their standard of living despite economic pressure. For families who practiced these techniques in the 1970s, many became lifelong habits. The skills learned during economic hardship continued to provide value even when money became less tight. The wisdom of 1970s budget management remains relevant. The specific techniques, coupon clipping, bulk buying, cooking from scratch, growing food, and conserving utilities, still save money today. These weren't deprivation strategies, they were empowerment strategies. The housewife who mastered these techniques had control over her family's financial destiny. In uncertain economic times, that control was invaluable. For those who remember, these weren't hardships, they were life skills that every competent adult needed to know.